So my name's Davey Jones from Bangor University. I'm the training manager for the STARS College of Doctoral Training. The training manager the role is designed to sort of put together a whole sequence of different training events essentially to enhance the students' career as they're going through their PhD. So they're not just learning about science, they're getting all these other skills. So the STARS program is about building a cohort of students. And what I mean by that is that they're sharing experiences, not only scientific experiences, but life experiences. A PhD is, it's not just all about the science, it's about them developing as people as well and gaining all these skills. And that's partly what we're trying to embody in the training program that goes along with STARS. And, they've been here for the last 3 days, and what we've hoped that they've got out of this, and I'm sure they have, is that first of all we have team building exercises, so we're trying to bond the people. We have to get to know each other, and that's fundamental to the next 3 years. And after we've done a bit of the sort of bonding experiences, then we have the scientific presentations, and everybody finds out what everybody's PhD is about, and I think that's obviously really important. And then they start to make the links between their PhD and other people's PhDs and see where the commonality is, and they start to learn from each other. And I think we've had the new students who've started this year, that's the process we've been through. And then we brought in the students from year 2, so they've already been in the program for a year. They came to visit, and the same thing, they had the chance to give presentations. We all went out for dinner, had more bonding. And then when the presentations for year 2 came along, you can see the year 1 students, thinking, oh, this relates to me. I can see, how this sort of network of soil scientists is coming together. And that's completely, atypical from what would normally happen. Really, in most times, students just focus on their individual area. They don't really know what goes on in the rest of the department or even the rest of the country. And that is vital to the STARS training program, is that really it's bringing soil scientists from all over the country together. There aren't enough of us, which is why we're training all these people up. We need more of them. And we can't train them all in one place because all the skills don't exist in one place. So we have to get the skills from all the supervisors from around the country, but then we need to bring the students together so that they can see what skills are out there around the country, and then the students can go and visit different places. It's part of the training program, is that they get to visit all the institutions and they see all of the science that goes on, really. There's one key element of this, and it's that it brings all of the soil scientists together and it bonds them as a cohort. When they leave after 3 years of finishing their PhD, they'll still be in contact with the other cohorts, and they will go into life as a cohort, and that's what we want, really. We want to build this wider community. Not all of them will go into academia. Some of them might go into policy, some of them might go into regulation, some of them might go off and, start up businesses or be in industry, but that contact network will still be out there, and they will know each other for life, I'm guaranteed that. But it's not just about, an inward sort of looking, just the institutions that are here, because they're also linked to the soil security program. They get to meet all of the other students and PhD students and postdocs who are in other institutions outside of STARS too. And I think that's a vital thing. Our students will look outward to the non-STARS programs, and people who are in other programs will be allowed to come and attend our training courses in years 2 and 3. So we're opening it up at the same time that we're building cohorts. The challenges in terms of, I think, of the training in particular are, one of them is that we've set up an amazing array of training opportunities for these students. They obviously have to build that into their PhD. Those are what we would call extracurricular activities, really. You don't need those training activities to get a PhD. What they're doing is enriching their lives, really, and enriching their employability chances. And I think overall that will enrich their PhD. But the challenge is that they have to fit all these training elements within the PhD, which is obviously extra things that they need to do with their time. And I think what we've done is we've structured the program such that they have these training elements all the way through, but none of them become dominant. So there should be lots of time for them to complete all the other activities to get their PhD. Yeah, we're training for life here. We're not training for soil science specifically. We're giving them every chance to get all of the skills they need. We know that only a small proportion of the people we train will ultimately end up as soil science professors, maybe 1% of those. So the other 99% may end up in research still, or they'll be in industry. They'll still be using those skills we've taught them, but they need additional skills too. And I think that's one of the key things, key elements of the training program. I think there is a philosophy, and I think that's look outward. The opportunities are there. We're trying to build a network of these soil scientists around the country. And the philosophy really, I guess, would be to open your mind to other opportunities that exist, and also to think about yourself not as an individual, but as a group of scientists. We can't solve the world's problems acting in isolation. We can only do it if we start to collaborate and cooperate together. And I think that's one of the things that embodies the STARS programme, is that we're all learning from each other to a greater goal. Well, normally every institution thinks only about itself. Where every institution is essentially just a business, and we're all competing against every other business. And that's where STARS is completely different, because instead of Cranfield University, Bangor University, the Centre for Ecology and Hydrology, all competing for research contracts and not working together because we all have our own intellectual property, this is all about actually breaking down those barriers and working together, which is vastly different from the current model that is being perpetuated, really. Well, we'd hope that this is a self-sustaining programme. There's two elements. We'd like to, hopefully it will, we may get more funding from the RC UK, research councils, to keep funding STARS, because there's still, even though we might have trained 33 soil scientists, that's still not enough to meet the needs of the nation. So I still think that we need to carry on. There will be a legacy. The legacy will be, hopefully we'll be able to attract more students through collaborating with industry. We'd like to internationalise the programme to bring in PhD students from abroad. I mean, we have an amazing set of, this is unique in terms of soil science training. So, we're hoping to, attract more people into the system. And we also leave, an electronic archive, an electronic legacy, which will last for generations, where people can look at all of the things that we've learned during this process. So we've learned a lot about how to bring students together and make them work together. We've also learned a lot about the science that they've been generating. And so, online we have all of these, videos and data portals and things, and all sorts of interesting information which will be, lasting forever.